This is the future of living, where having less means having more, and where space is used in smart ways. Welcome to the micro home revolution. These tiny homes are changing how we think about homes. Even though they're small, they make a big difference in how people live. Let's explore why and how these little homes are becoming so popular. Imagine living in a home where every part of it is useful, where smart design makes the space work just right for you, and where caring for the environment is important. Micro homes are often under 400 square feet, which is really small, but they aren't just about having less space. They're about making the most of what you have. These tiny homes are designed to fit your life perfectly without any extra stuff you don't need. So what is a micro home exactly? Usually there are homes that are between 100 to 400 square feet. Some might be a little bigger, up to 500 square feet. The idea of living in small homes started because people wanted to live more simply, care for the planet, and feel closer to the things that really matter. Today, many people live in big cities where space is limited and very expensive. Also, we are more aware of how our way of living affects their environment. Microhomes offer a solution to these problems. They're not just for people who want to save money, they're for anyone who wants to live with less stuff, have more freedom, and make less of an impact on the earth. One big reason people choose microhomes is to save money. Smaller homes cost less to heat, cool, and take care of, so people spend less on bills and can use their money for other things they enjoy. But it's not only about saving money. Living in a smaller space with fewer things can also make life simpler and less stressful. When you don't have so much stuff, you can focus on what's really important to you. This simpler way of living is something that more people are interested in today. Designers and architects are doing amazing things with these small spaces. They're making tiny homes that are both comfortable and smart. For example, beds that can turn into sofas, walls that can hide storage, and kitchens that use every little space efficiently. These homes are not cramped, they're designed to be cozy and functional. Some tiny homes even have multiple floors with different rooms stacked on top of each other to save space. The materials used to build these homes are chosen because they're good for the environment, last a long time, and help keep the house warm in the winter and cool in the summer. Some micro homes even have green roofs, which means they have plants growing on top that help with insulation and make the home look nice. Living in a small home doesn't mean you have to be alone. In fact, many people find that living in a micro home makes them feel more connected to others. There are communities of tiny homes like the one in Orlando Lakefront, Florida, where people share common spaces and do things together. These communities often have shared gardens, workshops, and places to hang out, which helps people get to know each other and feel like they're part of the neighborhood. The people who live in these communities often say they love the sense of belonging and the friendships they make. Living in a tiny home community can be a great way to avoid feeling lonely and to be part of something bigger. Microhomes are also leading the way in green living, using the latest technology to be eco-friendly and sometimes even energy independent. Many tiny homes have solar panels on the roof to generate electricity and systems to collect and clean rainwater. Some even use new technology like blockchain to trade energy with other homes in the community. These homes often have smart systems that let you control things like the lights and temperature from your phone, making them super efficient. For example, smart thermostats learn when you're home and adjust the temperature to save energy. LED lights, energy-saving appliances, and systems that recycle water are just few ways these homes help protect the environment. From New York's micro apartments to tiny homes that you can move anywhere, the future of housing might be smaller than you think. Governments and builders are starting to see the benefits of micro homes. For example, in California, there's a plan to use micro homes to help people who don't have a place to live. These homes could also be used as temporary shelters after natural disasters, or as an affordable option for older people who want to live in a smaller, easier to manage home. As more people choose to live in micro homes, cities might need to change the way they are planned. This could mean allowing for more small homes to be built in places where only big houses were allowed before. It could also lead to new services and infrastructure to support tiny home communities. The possibilities for using micro homes are endless, and they could solve a lot of problems in today's world. However, living in a tiny home isn't always easy. There are rules and laws about how big a house has to be, where you can build it, and what kind of homes are allowed in different areas. These rules can make it hard to live in a micro home legally. Also, getting used to living in a smaller space and having fewer things can be tough. It takes time to adjust, and it's not for everyone. Some people might feel like having less means they are missing out on something, but for those who make the change, the rewards can be great. Many people who have switched to micro living say they feel freer and happier because they aren't weighed down by so much stuff. They find that they can focus more on what really matters to them, like spending time with family and friends, enjoying experiences, living a life that feels meaningful. One of the best things about micro homes is how they help people feel closer to nature. Since these homes are small, they often have big windows or outdoor spaces that connect the inside of the house with the outside world. Whether your microhome is in the city, the country, or by the beach, you can enjoy nature right from your living room. Many people find that being close to nature makes them feel calmer and happier. In a tiny home, you might spend more time outside, gardening, walking, or just enjoying the fresh air. This connection to nature is another reason why so many people are drawn to micro living. Another thing to consider is how micro homes can make you more creative. When you live in a small space, you have to think carefully about what you need and how to use the space you have. This can lead to some really creative solutions. For example, you might come up with a new way to store your things or find a way to decorate that doesn't take up too much room. Living in a tiny home can inspire you to think outside the box and come up with ideas that make your space unique and special. Micro homes also give you the chance to live a more flexible life. Since they're small and often easy to move, you can take your home with you if you want to live in a different place. Some people love the idea of living in different cities or even different countries without having to leave their home behind. With a micro home, you have the freedom to explore the world while still having a place that feels like home. This kind of flexibility is perfect for people who love to travel or who want to try living in new places. Living in a micro home can also teach you important life lessons. You learn to value experiences over things, to be mindful of what you own, and to appreciate the simple joys in life. When you have less space, you start to notice the little things that make you happy, like a cozy reading nook, a beautiful view, or a warm cup of tea. Micro living helps you focus on what really matters and can make your life feel richer and more fulfilling. The micro home revolution is about more than just living in a smaller space. It's about living with purpose. It's about making choices that reflect what's important to you, whether that's freedom, caring for the environment, being part of a community, or living a simpler life. These tiny homes are showing that you can live a big life in a small space. The journey to living in a micro home might be challenging, but for those who try it, the benefits can be life-changing. Whether it's saving money, reducing your impact on the environment, or feeling more connected to others, living in a micro home offers many positive changes. Many people don't want to live in a micro home because they are very small and can feel cramped. In a micro home, there's not much room to move around and you can only fit a few pieces of furniture. This means you might not have space for things like a big couch, a dining table, or even a regular sized bed. Another problem is storage. There's little room for clothes, books, or other belongings, so you have to be very careful about what you keep. Cooking in a micro home can also be hard because the kitchen is tiny and you might not have enough counter space to prepare meals. So if you like to cook or bake, this could be frustrating. Also, micro homes usually don't have much privacy, especially if you live with someone else. There are no separate rooms, so it can be hard to find a quiet place to relax or work. Living in a small space can also make it difficult to entertain guests, as there's no room for more than a couple of people. Natural light is important because it makes a home feel bright and welcoming, and without it, a micro home might seem gloomy. Additionally, micro homes can sometimes be too hot or too cold because they don't have the best insulation, which means they can't keep the temperature comfortable all the time. Another challenge is that micro homes are often built in areas where there's not much green space or outdoor areas, so you might not have a backyard or a place to sit outside. Finally, micro homes can make it hard to live with pets. There's not enough space for them to run around, and it might be difficult to keep a litter box or a pet bed without taking up valuable room. For all these reasons, some people might think micro homes are too small and uncomfortable to live in. Even though they might be less expensive and easier to clean than bigger homes, they prefer to have more space to spread out, more storage, and more room for activities they enjoy. So, are you interested in joining the micro home revolution? Despite these cons, there's a whole world of possibilities waiting for you to discover whether you want to live more simply, save money, or do your part to help the environment. Micro homes offer a unique and exciting way to do it. In these small spaces, you might find that life becomes richer and more meaningful. So why not take the first step and see how living in a micro home could change your life for the better? With the right mindset and a willingness to try something new, you might find that having less actually gives you more time, more freedom, and more happiness.